From Roblox and Unity Software this week have intensified the conversation about the Metaverse.
Joe, I'm very excited about the Metaverse. I'm glad the Metaverse is an immersive 3D virtual space where you get to have real experience. The concept has been around a long time.
Going Meta, Mark Zuckerberg announcing that Meta will be the name of the umbrella company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Think of this like when
Google... do something wild and crazy and beautiful and inventive online. Check out what Unity did last night. This is a company that makes software tools for video game developers. But last night...
Hi. Is this the end of internet as we know? Is the new digital world going to be an extension of the physical world we live in? Metaverse is the future of the internet, or is it? Welcome back. Now, since October 28th, Metaverse has become one of the most discussed topics across internet discussion boards, boardrooms, chat rooms, social media, and wherever else you go. Obviously, the reason was Facebook's announcement. But even though there is new hype to this concept, it's not a new concept at all. You see, this concept existed for decades. So before we go further, let me try to define this term a little bit. Very simply, in layman's terms, it's extension of the physical world in the virtual world where people interact using avatars and online profiles. Now the obvious question is, who is building this metaverse? Now, as I said, while the concept have had its own ups and downs all the way since 1970s, currently it's being led by a pack of what I call Big Four: Facebook, Microsoft, Epic, and Roblox. You know what? Let's take a step back and discuss a little bit of a history of metaverse. This concept of virtual worlds has been there in existence since late 1970s. There were games which were called MUDs, which were text-based RPG games which enabled people to interact with each other in alternate world using text-based platforms. Now, as internet evolved and we entered 2000s, we saw platforms such as Second Life, which at one time became really popular with millions of people hopping onto the platform and performing bunch of real-world activities. But as I said, the concept of virtual reality had so many challenges with sustained popularity, and thus the excitement always died out eventually. But something interesting happened as we entered late 2010s. You see, both compute power and graphic processing saw an exponential improvement, and that transformed this raw concept of virtual worlds into engaging games such as GTA, which is Grand Theft Auto, Crackdown, Skyrim, amongst many others. The evolution simply kept on accelerating, and things became really serious after the launch of Fortnite in 2017 and substantial improvements in Unreal Engine in late 2014s. Since 2017, Fortnite has grown from mere 30 million players to almost a billion players, spending more than 3 billion hours of playtime every single month. But Epic is not alone in this. In 2019, Facebook launched Horizon, which is first of its kind platform, which enables users to generate their own virtual worlds, which can be connected and synchronized to other users, essentially enabling more than 2 billion users on Facebook to create first user-generated virtual world. On the other hand, Roblox went on to build not only a fantastic gamified virtual world, which currently has more than 300 million players by the way, but also built its own development engine and currency. All in all, the point is the push for complete rebuilding of internet is much harder now than it was ever, which may lead to eventual death of 2D internet as we know. So the question now is, when exactly will all this happen? And more importantly, would it be really sustainable this time? Now, as with all new technology innovations, it depends on just three important things. Number one, demand. Number two, software. And number three, hardware. Let's discuss each of these one by one. Let's take demand first. If you just take, three biggest games, for example, Roblox, Fortnite, and Sims, these see more than 2.5 billion online players. And this demand is continuously only increasing. Just imagine, when internet became mainstream in 1995, there were only 14 million people online, whereas today, there's close to 3 billion people continuously accessing high-speed internets. From economics perspective, it's a no-brainer. gaming industry is more than $150 billion in market capitalization, whereas even if you club all types of entertainment modes together, such as movies, TVs, OTA platforms such as Netflix, it's just north of $80 billion. So we are already seeing more than the critical mass for demand. Now, the second most important aspect is software, and it won't be an overstatement to say that the platforms to enable virtual world today are the most mature ever. So there are largely two most popular platforms, Unity and Unreal. Now, both these platforms are extremely versatile and have tons of investments to make them easy to work with and design. And on top of these, companies like Roblox, Minecraft have built their own engines. While this may seem limited, with advent of really flexible engines such as Metal, Swift, which Apple has introduced, things are only getting interesting from here on. Especially given behemoths in graphics such as Nvidia have already joined the ranks and they have promised their commitment to Metaverse. Now finally, everything boils down to hardware. The good news is though that we have made significant improvements by leaps and bounds here too. For example, if you just take frames per second per dollar, it has dropped to just 8 cents in the last 20 years. On top of that, today the compute power is so much commoditized and a ton of it is available on demand that it's so easy to get enough compute power for any kind of application you want. When it comes to dedicated devices, Facebook has taken a lead here and they have taken this entire virtual reality to a next level altogether. With multiple improvements in Quest platform and launch of recent glass with Ray-Ban, it's just a start. Moreover, a ton of investment has been pegged towards making AR and VR much more seamless, accessible, and low profile by companies like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. Now, one other key essential aspect of all this is connectivity. With 5G now almost becoming mainstream, we are now exposed to speeds which are 100 times faster than 4G, which is more than enough to enable real-time connectivity across platforms, different worlds, simulations, activities, etc. So to summarize, we are also beyond critical mass when it comes to hardware development. So what does all this mean? Very simply put, what all this means is that we are very fast moving towards a world where we may no more need mouse, keyboard, displays, etc. to interact with internet. I believe in the next 4 to 5 years, we all will be inside the internet. In fact, we can say we will be the internet. But there is still some work to be done to refine some of these barriers between the software and hardware and continue to improve the reach of faster connectivity across the board. The only real challenge is decentralization. You see, one of the reasons why World Wide Web grew so much was its truly decentralized nature. There is no one company which controls internet, everyone facilitates it, and thus there is a neutrality in terms of ownership of the assets on the internet at large. Metaverse, on the other hand, has some challenges in this regards. While most of the large players promise it to be truly decentralized, they all have hard dependencies, which kind of makes it all centralized around few big players. Now, this, according to me, is the real challenge to be sorted out. And history shows that centralized things always have limited reach, they are expensive, the scale is very complex, and thus it becomes more of products than large decentralized platforms such as World Wide Web. Let me know what you think. Do you think that we are all set to experience the new iteration of internet where we will be internet? Or are we moving slowly towards a dystopian concept like Matrix? Please comment below and let me know your thoughts. So until the next video, have fun, stay safe, and enjoy this one life you have. Bye.